Another argument in the Southern Tier involves how high Broome County's flood walls and levees should be, and that argument is between two federal agencies in charge of flood protection.
As our Steve Craig reports, that difference of opinion has prompted the new chairman of the county legislature to urge FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers to speak with one voice.
This is what FEMA is proposing as the new Broome County flood map, a bigger floodplain reflecting the agency's view in the aftermath of Katrina and the '06 flood that existing flood walls and levees are no longer high enough, even though the Army Corps of Engineers considers them adequate. Raising walls and levees would cost taxpayers billions. Not raising them would put an additional 6,500 properties in the flood zone, costing property owners more for flood insurance.
All we know is that if you're in the flood insurance program prior to the new mapping, you'll be grandfathered. You'll be grandfathered into the rate that you're at now.
Meaning those 6,500 property owners should sign up now before the FEMA map becomes official. But what if the Army Corps of Engineers standards prevail?
Let's come up with one set of guidelines. The Army Corps of Engineers has a set that's worked for us for many years. And FEMA says, well, it might not work anymore. So let's sit down at the table. Let's get two of them to sit down and talk about it.
One reason it might make sense to insist on higher flood walls in Binghamton, possible new flood protection upstream. There are no flood walls or levees in Conklin, which is one reason the town was hit so hard back in '06. However, it turned out to be good news for the city of Binghamton, because the water that was here wrecking this and other neighborhoods wasn't in the main channel of the river, meaning there wasn't as much pressure on the flood walls and levees in Binghamton. But next time, Conklin doesn't want to be Binghamton's safety valve.
I feel that we should have something to protect our residents, and so I addressed that with the Army Corps, and that's something that they're going to be looking into, especially at the southern end of the town where we have a lot of our businesses.
Protecting Conklin would send more water downstream sooner, and all of a sudden, higher flood walls might seem like a good idea. In Binghamton, Steve Craig, Fox 40 News.